Good morning. Here in the United Kingdom, and the date today is the 12th of September 2021. I've disabled comments because I've got something to say. Okay, and this is not an interactive video. Although, if anybody does wish to comment, I may answer you later. The reason I disabled the comments is because we might get some negative ones, and I am not doing readings right now. Now, I'm actually a psychic. I work as a psychic, and um, this I just wanted to put in my 2 cents. Okay, Lena, I'm not doing readings today, darling. This is for something entirely different. Okay, so all comments. Well, I suppose you can still comment, but you won't get an answer, unfortunately. Um, the reason I'm here today is because I'm just going to talk about the corrupt organization that is Facebook. Okay, I don't do readings on Sundays, but I work as a psychic. That is my business. I certainly do not go around scamming people. I do not do that. I have a website which is www.psychicshirley.net, and everything's set out there. I do free readings for people. I do my best. Generally, I do like to get paid for my work. Who wouldn't, right? But at the same time, um, to advertise, to give people a chance to see what it's like, what I tend to do is I give like free readings and things like that. So I was doing this on Facebook. It was doing like free readings and things for people. And there's absolutely no obligation to donate, and it was good. And the reach was reaching quite a lot of people. A lot of people were being reached by this, and I thought, well, then this is quite good, and Facebook was making that happen. And I was actually thinking, this is a good platform, Facebook, yeah, and you could reach thousands of people. I mean, just to offer them a free reading and see whether they would like to come and to my website and book a bigger reading. Now, in my opinion, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. You do get on Facebook, however, the first thing that started going wrong was you get scammers. Now, the scammers on Facebook, that first of all, they copy your profile. They copy it. They steal your photographs. They steal your content, and they pretend to be you. And when people go there to try to secure a reading, they're not securing it with me. They're securing it with the scammer. So the scammer will charge them for a reading, right? The scammer will say, "Here you go. Here's a reading. We'll do it for free, or we'll do whatever for free." And then they try and charge people the money for the reading, telling them that they will need to register with them, and they'll need to put their bank details in. Now, I mean, it can be so convincing. I'm not saying people are stupid by a long chalk, no. But these scammers are very convincing. They make you think that it's me talking to you, and it's not me, right? And you complain to Facebook. You say, "Look, this person has done this. They've scammed people." And all Facebook do is they come back with the standard message, which is probably by an AI bot, right? And the AI bot says this does not go against our community standards, and you're buggered, aren't you? You can't make a complaint to Facebook because they think they are untouchable. Yeah. But why target you only? Lena says they're not targeting me only. I'm going to tell you something, right? Every person that does this kind of work and advertises on Facebook, every tarot reader, yeah, especially if we're doing free readings, right? Every tarot reader is targeted, yeah. They do exactly the same thing, and it's the same people because they always send it to the same website, yeah. They send you to a blogspot website, and sometimes it's a free movie site, and they always say that there's a sponsor, and this is for every single spiritual person. Now, I'm not just talking about a spiritual person, but that's the business I run, yeah. And that, I think that's disgusting. And Facebook do absolutely nothing to help, yeah. And it's really, really bad, yeah. So this is why I'm here. I mean, I've got people commenting, that's fantastic, but I just want you to know I'm not doing readings today. I am calling out the organization that is Facebook, okay? And I'll probably get a ban when it goes up, because it is going to go up on Facebook, because that's partly what this is about. The second thing is, I've got a lot of beef with these people. Now, for years and years, I didn't go on Facebook, right? For years, for about 10 years doing my work, I did not go on Facebook. I worked on the psychic tarot lines that are commercial, because, I wanted to just do that, right? I thought, well, it's something I can do. I did not want to go on Facebook for many reasons, and mainly that I thought I would probably not be able to handle many people getting in touch with me. I find I am able to handle it. But last year, I went on Facebook to promote my business, to do it, and it started off really well. I was getting good audience, and things were happening. I was getting people wanting a reading, which is nice. Not through a scammer, but because they sought it out and they wanted a reading. I didn't go around and say, here's a free reading, come and get it. I just, they just wanted one. I just advertised it, and then they come and they got it. So that was nice, right? Facebook, in their infinite wisdom, right? I had done nothing wrong. I swear to God, I did nothing. I didn't violate their policies. I didn't do anything. But they cut off my personal account for 6 whole months, right? Now, I have hard time believing that it wasn't deliberate. That's the kind of people they are. So they cut me off, which was disgusting. So not only was I getting scammers and everything on the account, but they cut me off and cut off my audience and cut off my 10,000 followers that I had, right? That is exactly what they did. Now, I'm just one person, right? But I can imagine many other business owners, not just spiritual people, but many other business owners having gone through exactly the same thing. And when you go on the help forums on Facebook, it's crowded with business people who get cut off without a word, right? Without a word, without any reason. The adverts, they pay a lot for the adverts, and the adverts are not even reaching the people they want to reach. I mean, I was paying for adverts from them. I must have paid about £100 to start off with to get it going. And, they didn't even do the advert that I requested. It didn't go out to the people that I requested it to go to. It didn't. So it was like, this is a bit strange. It's an advert, not a scamming thing. I mean, there was absolutely no way I was going to scam people. It was just literally an advert, because businesses advertise. That's what we did. And Facebook decided, that they were going to do this. They were going to just put it to a few people, So that's the second thing they did. The third thing, which I think was absolutely disgusting, they have this thing where you can befriend people, and you can say, hey, come and like my page. It's just, you just click a little button and say, come and like my page. And why have that there if people aren't supposed to use it? Yeah. So I started inviting people to come and like my page, as you do. And Facebook decided that they would cut me off for that as well. So that was bad enough, So that's three things they've done. Now, but the thing is, they're not just doing it to me, right? They're doing it to any business on Facebook, and they've been doing it since 2020, at least maybe 2019, but at least since 2020. Yeah, hundreds, thousands of businesses are being cut off and ruined because Facebook has crazy policies, and they allow scammers and corrupt people to run the thing. Okay. Now, I've a hard time thinking that any of these things are computer glitches, right? Because they can be sorted out. They can be sorted out as long as you say, complain, look, excuse me, something's gone wrong here. Can you fix it? They don't even get back to you. They just ignore you completely. So that's not just that. My reach as a tarot reader used to get like maybe 200-300 people on a feed. Now I'm lucky if I get 20, right? They have deliberately done that, right? I think that's absolutely disgusting. How's anybody supposed to advertise their business or make anything work when Facebook deliberately restricts your reach? I mean, exactly what are they censoring that? I mean, are you saying people can't be psychic anymore? Is that what it is? Are they saying that they can't have this kind of business? Is there something wrong with this kind of business? Yeah? And you have to kind of wonder, what kind of corrupt way of thinking is that? You know? It's disgusting, that's what it is. It's disgusting. Now, it's censorship and it infringes on people's rights and people's freedom. Yeah? So every time you inquire, every time you try to get any help from Facebook, nothing. They do not answer you. That seems to be company policy, right? So, the latest thing that they've done, I'm not going to tell you how much I earned in stars. Now, Facebook stars, what happens is if you're a streamer, you have this thing called Facebook stars where they cost like half a cent each, maybe less than that, or half a penny each. And you can buy as many as you like and to send to a creator or a streamer who you appreciate. And it's literally just for the appreciation. It's not to buy anything. It's just to say, hey, I appreciate your stream. Here's a couple of stars, which is absolutely fantastic, right? And I think, well, why not? It's a good thing if people want to send it. There's no obligation to anybody to send it. It's been switched on my account. So I thought, well, I'll give it a go, see if people like it. Because bear in mind, I used to do them for absolutely for free, for nothing, So you go on there and you feel obligated to answer your star senders first, especially if they've sent you a lot, right? And that kind of creates a two-tier system where before you would just read for people, anybody that was there, in the time that you've got. Then it creates a two-tier system. So it's like the people that have paid you so many stars, you think, I have to read for them. And then you run out of time because you've got a life as well. And you run out of time and you don't get the other people who normally you would have read for or you would have talked to if stars were not involved. Okay, so that's another corrupt thing. They're creating a sort of two-tier system, which might seem very silly, but it's actually quite a horrible way of doing it, because it makes you think that you have to just cater for the people that pay you, which on reflection, it is actually unfair. So Facebook did this, and for the few months I was getting like stars money, which I thought, well, that's really nice, and it makes a big change because don't think anybody makes a lot of money being a psychic, right? There's reasons why I'm doing it, but don't think anybody makes any money being a psychic. We do it for the love of it. But there's corruption involved. This is what I'm here for. There's corruption. What they did is, I earned this month in particular, I earned a certain amount in stars payments, which people paid to me because they appreciated my videos and they appreciated what I was doing, the free readings and all, which was really, really nice. And you can only say, well, you know what, some people are so lovely doing that. They're just doing it because, maybe they feel like either they were entertained or they were comforted or they felt like sometimes it was accurate. Or they felt like it was a good thing. Maybe they felt like part of the family, and it was a nice little community. And I thought, well, just continue with that. But the corruption had already set in, and what they did was, in my view, the most disgusting thing. They just decided this month that they weren't going to pay me. No, you don't get that stars money. It doesn't matter if the people did this to appreciate you, we're going to keep it. And they kept it, which is highly illegal and disgusting into the bargain. So not only have we got all this corruption I have to deal with, and scammers and people coming on my feed, self-righteous Christians mostly, who don't understand what I'm doing, self-righteous people who don't get it, coming on and ruining the stream, scammers and idiots coming on. And so and making it really difficult to moderate. You have to go into this screen and that screen, and you can't just click it and say, I don't want this person on the feed. You have to do all kinds of stuff. They make it really difficult to moderate. So not only have they stolen money from the good people that sent it to me, they stole it from me, and get in touch with them, they don't get back to you. They don't get back to you at all. It's a corrupt, selfish organization, and all they do is they're there to control you, they're there to control your mind, they're there to get you addicted to social networking. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with communication in this world. Social networking is a great thing. But when it gets to the point where you can't say anything, you can't do anything, things that they were doing for you before, they are not doing, and they're slowly, closing everything around you. They're saying, look, here's this wonderful product. Here you are, you'll reach a lot of people, you'll talk to the world. And then they slowly and deliberately take that away from you. And it's disgusting. You can't say anything now. Say you've got someone who's opposed to a medical procedure, for example, as I am. I don't want to have a medical procedure that I think will kill me. I don't want to have a medical procedure that everybody else is having because the government told them to have it, right? The disease that they want this medical procedure for is fraudulent. The whole thing is fraudulent. I just can't understand why intelligent people in this world cannot see how fraudulent this is. Okay? Now, look, death figures inflated artificially, right? People died with COVID, not of it, right? So they died with the disease, not of it. Yeah? It's just because you get a positive test doesn't mean you die of it, It's not the same as the plague where you would get the plague in the morning and be dead in the evening, right? The second thing is, it may have disproportionately affected older people, but so does pneumonia every year. So does flu every year. And last year, miraculously, there was no flu. I don't think that is true. I don't. Yeah. Yeah, and that this is it. You can't speak out about that. You can't say there's something wrong with the way they've manipulated the statistics to convince the public that they must take this miracle thing. They must take this thing into their bodies. Yeah, and when you look at it and you think it's so corrupt, right? You can't say things like that on Facebook because they've decided that they're going to censor you, right? And it doesn't matter. I mean, you might be a spiritual person with a view on, what goes into your body, which I do have a view about that. I'm a spiritual person. I just think, look, we were born with a spiritual immune system, We were born with everything we need in this world. The only time we are poisoned is by mankind itself. When we mix chemicals and we put things in our food and we corrupt the children into thinking that science is God. You corrupt people into doing that. And, I have a view on it. And I'm not allowed to express that view, because Facebook cut you off. Here's the great audience, but you're not allowed to say your piece. Now that to me is highly disgusting. Facebook needs an overhaul. They are corrupt. They censor people, and you can't even have a view, without them sending you into Facebook jail, as they call it. It's absolutely disgusting. All the good people are leaving Facebook. All the good people that had any halfway sense are leaving Facebook and going elsewhere, right? What is it going to take? What is it going to take for us all to leave this corrupt organization to save our souls from the way that they're controlling us, and they are controlling us, right? What's it going to take for us to save our souls, bugger off elsewhere, and leave them to stew in their own juice? I don't think that what I say is going to make much difference, because We're so hopelessly addicted to Facebook that we always go back. Hopelessly addicted to it. And we always go back, and it's unfair to us, to anybody. I've got Penny there, says she appreciates the readings, times and energy. Yeah, better off giving readings on YouTube. So I am moving to YouTube, to TikTok, to any other platform, right? But corrupt, selfish, nasty Facebook, evil Facebook. We need to do something about it, because my theory about this, and it's maybe probably not just my theory, but the Facebook came after 9/11, right? You get 9/11. That was the big event. That was the signal for all the shills, for all the sleepers to put their plan into action. They've been planning it for a very, very long time. Yeah. And Facebook came after 9/11. So did all the great technology. So did all the mind control devices. And we didn't know. We were innocent young people. We didn't know. Yeah. We didn't know that these things were sent to control our minds. We thought, no, this is a great thing for humanity. You know? And it isn't a great thing for humanity. It distracts you from your goals. Yeah. I was on my way to becoming a designer, an artist. Then you get distracted by the internet. You get distracted by Facebook. You know, it's meant to distract you. It's meant to do that to your mind, so that you end up not achieving the goals. You may end up stuck, answering people, talking to people, for looking at funny photographs of cats. You know, you end up doing that instead of living your life. And we think it's good because this is what we like. This is okay. Yeah, it takes away the boredom of life. Before Facebook, before the internet, life was so boring, or was it really? Or is it just that Facebook came as a big fucking massive thing that you just thought was so wonderful? Was life really boring before it? Yeah, it certainly wasn't as corrupt. Let me tell you that. Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Scammers and corrupt people have always been there. It's just that exacerbated by Facebook itself. Yeah. You have to think, well, what's the whole point of it? What is the whole point of having this network, of having businesses on there? And they seem to be controlling the people. Okay. We've got Angela there, says that honest, true readings and a special gift. So I'm so pleased that people really do appreciate what I have to offer. Okay. I'm just having a really, I want everybody to understand what Facebook have done here. Now, if you think, who is behind everything that's happening in the world? Look, you've got this plague or disease around right now, and it's closing all the businesses. All the businesses, all the small businesses, people are getting pinged and they're saying, they're just doing that, and they're getting pinged and they're saying, you can't work because you have to isolate for 10 days, right? Businesses going down the drain, right? All of them. And Facebook are complicit in this, right? Because what happened is that as soon as all that started, that's when Facebook started cutting off businesses. They started making life difficult on their platform. They started making sure that businesses were, treated badly or not treated at all, not listened to. So something in this world is happening, right? And I saw it happen, and I was disgusted. I thought at first, when I started doing this, I thought it's only the COVID people that are going to have problems here, on the high street, people that are not on the internet, only to find that the corrupt organization Facebook was exacerbating business closures because of the way they treated business people on their platform, right? Now, it's something that's happening globally, and it's got nothing to do with the virus, right? I've heard of the Great Reset. I'm skeptical about a lot of things, and the Great Reset is happening, whether we like it or not, right? They want to destroy your business. If you are a business person, right, and you go on the internet and you advertise on Facebook, which is a tool of the elite, let me tell you, that's their tool, right? They will draw you in, they will make you addicted, they will make it seem good to start off with, and then when they think they've got you, they will cut you off. So it's like they're controlling your money, and as soon as they've got that control, right, they will cut you off. It's the same as if you have a cashless society and all your money is controlled by technology in a virtual bank, right? As soon as they think that you've done something wrong that they don't like, they're going to cut you off, right? Your money is gone, right? And there's an example of it right here, right? I didn't do anything to Facebook. I didn't violate anything. I did everything by the book. They cut me off anyway, right? So if Facebook are going to do that to me, just imagine what's going to happen, right? When people get a cashless society and they put the money into these virtual accounts and things, yeah? Can you imagine what's going to happen? Yeah? They're going to cut off your money whenever they feel like it, whether it's a glitch, whether it's a mistake, whether you've done something wrong, if the AI messes up, if the computers mess up, you are buggered, right? This is what we've got to put up with, yeah? And it doesn't make it any easier that the people that run these things, supposedly run them, the stooges, they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. They are barely trained customer service people, and they're trained to be on the call for 5 minutes and cut the customer off. That is I used to work in customer service. I was trained to do that. What it is you keep the customer on for 5 minutes and you cut them off as soon as you can. That is how customer service works, right? With Facebook, it's even worse than that. You can maybe text them, and they try and they get back to you with a stupid thing. It's usually the AI bot telling you the information that they've told you like a gazillion times already, and nobody helps solve your problem. So you might think, yes, I have a beef with Facebook. I have a beef with any social network that thinks that they've got control over people's lives. And that's exactly what they've done. Not just to me. I mean, that's my experience, but not just to me, but that any spiritual person, anybody that's got a business, anybody that thinks they can run anything on Facebook, anything like that, everybody is at risk, right? You can't even, I mean, it's disgusting. It really is. So I might not make much of a difference here with what I'm saying, but what I'm going to say is simply this, right? If you've become a victim of Facebook, if you have become somebody that you try to have a life and you try to reach people, or you try to get something going, even if it's like for your hobbies, for the things that you like doing, and Facebook restrict you, there's something wrong with that, isn't there? Yeah? There's something terribly wrong with the way they are acting towards us. I mean, you can't become... There's a platform, right? You can't be a platform 1 minute and a publisher the next, right? Facebook is a platform, not a publisher. They're a platform acting like a publisher, yeah? The fact checkers don't check facts. They always just make out that everything's wrong. You come to a conclusion about something and they'll say it's wrong. I mean, I saw something, and I honestly did see this, that about the Nuremberg trials. And the Nuremberg trials were about how, you're not allowed to, well, they're not allowed to inject you with anything if you're not happy with it. That is true. The Nuremberg trials, the Nazis injected the Jews with all their experimental drugs and things, and they couldn't refuse, and it was disgusting. They killed many people that way, and they injected them with all kinds of stuff, right? But now you're allowed to refuse a medical procedure. You're allowed to say, no, I don't want that, right? The Nuremberg trial was like to expose them, and that is there. Now, the fact checker that I saw said, actually, that's inaccurate. And you know what they said? They said it only applied to Jewish prisoners, not the rest of the world, meaning that we can be forced into taking an experimental medical procedure. We can be forced into it. I think, excuse me, since when? But no, well, that's what the fact checker said. I wish I could find the thing to show you, but that's exactly what they said. This world is a corrupt place, and made even more corrupt by the way Facebook operates. Even more, Now, yeah, I've got a beef with Facebook. Yeah, I've got a beef with the government. And the Facebook is the government's stooge. It's the government's tool. And You can see the same control techniques, the same as they do with the DWP, with welfare companies, that sort of thing. They outsource of welfare companies, and they make out that you've done something wrong, so you won't get paid. That goes against every human right. It goes against everything. I mean, right, I'll tell you. The reason that I started doing tarot reading, right, and because to me it was a hobby, right? I loved doing it. It was my hobby. I enjoyed it. And it was just something that, that's fine, I'll just do that. And I was doing it for a lot of years. And then I got really, really ill, okay? Yeah, I got extremely ill, and I could barely walk, never mind anything else. But one thing I could do, and I thought, well, I'll do this, is I could read the tarot, and I could engage with people, and even if I was poorly and they're poorly, we could empathize. I could understand what people were going through because I was going through it, and I wasn't making a huge amounts of money, but it was keeping me off the sick welfare and that sort of thing. And the reason I didn't want to go on the sick is because first of all, you have to prove you're sick. And usually, they come round and they say, no, you're not, you can work. Even if you're, halfway dead, they're going to say you're fit for work because that's what they've got to do these days. Don't let anybody tell you different. So that's what they did. And I didn't want to go on that. I didn't. I thought, well, I'll do what I can. So I did. I do what I can. Yeah. And I've been doing this for 10 years. I got better, obviously, but I wanted to continue doing it because I'm still not 100%. What I got was endometriosis, and it is absolutely horrible. It really is. But you see, my circumstances, people don't get my circumstances. They come on and they call me a scammer. You know what I mean? They don't get my circumstances. How many more people, right, are going through this thing? It can't be just me. This world has become a stupid place to live in. It really has. And Marie Heights there saying, very shortly Facebook and others will be brought down and taken over. By whom? Who's going to do that? Are we just going to say new boss, same as the old boss? A bit like Animal Farm. Anybody read Animal Farm by George Orwell? The animals took over the farm, and they were exactly the same corruptness as the people that they deposed. Yeah. So what do we do, guys? What do we do? I mean, I've got 4 people watching here. There might be more people that watch later on. I don't know. What do we do? How do you bring down a tech giant? How do you bring down an untouchable tech giant that you can't sue? How do you do that? Yeah? Now, the other ones I don't have so much of a beef with at the moment, but if any of them are operating in the way Facebook is, that is absolutely corrupt and disgusting. Yeah. So the only people that can bring them down is us. And the only way that we're going to do that is by boycotting them, and I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to wean myself off Facebook. I'm going to take myself elsewhere on the internet. And I'm just going to continue doing what I do because what else am I going to do? I'm too poorly to work doing anything else. I just love my job that I do. And I would like to continue with it. But the way that it's going, the way the world is going, right, we're all going to be jabbed with an experimental thing that we don't even know works. And we're all going to be put into camps if we don't. This is it. And I just wanted to come on and say this today because I'm not doing readings today. Sunday is my day off. But I wanted to say this because I feel like, these past months, this past year and a half, right, I've been kicked in the teeth at least twice by Facebook. Kicked in the teeth. And they don't do anything about the scammers. 2, I know of my potential customers have been scammed because they're on there. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm going to add this to my Facebook feed. Not that it's going to make any difference. I'll probably get censored or banned or something, But listen, hey, You know what? The American president, right? Whatever happens over in America happens in the UK a few weeks later. We all know that, right? American president says his patience is wearing thin with the unvaccinated. His patience is wearing thin. That's what he said. And he whispered, creepily, get vaccinated. Yeah, well, you know something. I don't know if that's been pointed out to anybody before, and this is another reason why Facebook will censor me. People that say that, people that, that get vaccinated or you won't be able to live in society. I want you to remember there's a certain Bible verse. I don't know exactly what it is now, but it's like the mark of the beast. You receive a mark in your right hand or your forehead, and you shall not be able to buy or sell unless you have the mark of the beast. Yeah, right now this thing is going to go in your arm, and I'm not Satanist in any way, but I do understand it. I understand that they want to control you. I understand that without your vaccination, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. You're not going to be able to do anything in society after a while unless you have your passport. This is corruption in the highest level. Facebook are complicit in this. They'll do anything for President Biden. Now, not that I'm on any side here, because honestly, I thought Trump was doing exactly the same thing. I don't have a side. If anything, I think they're all corrupt. Yeah? And we're on our side. We should all be on our side. All of us against all of them. Right? No more left or right, because I tell you what, you vote for the left, they punch you in the face. You vote for the right, they punch you in the face. You know what I mean? They're all there to get the money out of you, to turn what should be personal, public money, right, that's built up over the years for the public into private money. And the way they do that is by selling this massive vaccine thing. They sell it. The government buys it, turns it private money. It turns the public money into private money to which they all have access. Right? They are their agents or family members or whatever have shares in the pharmaceutical companies, and when the fake vaccine thing is sold, and nobody's cured, by the way, when you get that thing in your body, which will poison you, right? The company gets all this money that should have been gone to public projects, to help public health, to help people. And they've built it up, they've paid it in their taxes, they've paid it in their national insurance. In the UK, this is how we do it: taxes, national insurance. Yeah? In other countries, it's different, but it's the same principle. They turn that public money into their private money. And how much are you betting that the politicians responsible for doing that have shares in the companies? Yeah, they do. And they're making themselves rich, like a vulture, They're coming along and they're taking what should be money for the people, but generated by the people. They are taking it like vultures. They are feeding on the real wealth of the world. And you think, why are people poor? The reason people are poor is because of people like that. They create humanitarian disasters everywhere. They do it. They think that that's their God-given right. They create humanity when it comes to things like humanitarian disasters in, like, say, for Africa, for example, right, where there had been a lot of famine for a long time. They could easily have fixed that. The only reason that people are poor in the first place is because of the way the system is. Favors people that have got more money than sense, and the people that are poor and don't have anything are supporting the people at the top, right? People like, say, for example, you got Elon Musk, right? Richest man on earth, trillions that man has. You got people like Jeff Bezos from Amazon. He's got more money than you can even dream of. You've got Richard Branson, goes without saying. You've got these all went. You know what they did? They went for a frivolous trip to outer space instead of helping humanity that got them there in the first place. That they could have solved world hunger. They could have done so much for the planet, and they kept it for themselves. And don't get me wrong here. I think Mark Zuckerberg, head of bloody Facebook, yeah, he is complicit in all of this. He is one of them, and he is preying on all of us, right? Then we've got to do something about it. We can't just sit here and let them continue to do that, right? I saw a very powerful poster once when I was in London. It showed an African black lady carrying a baby, right? And the rest of the world feeding off her, right? She's starving, the baby, but the rest of the world going right up to the top. They were feeding off this poor lady, feeding off the poor. That is what they do. Relentless exploitation of the working class. I've got a degree in history. They would have us believe that we sleepwalked into war, that things that happened in history just happened. No, they were planned. You can see it with hindsight, and you can see it with foresight. Everything's planned. Facebook is part of it. The tech giants are part of it. Amazon's part of it. You know what? They're all part of it. And you might think, okay, conspiracy theory. Yeah, but it's better than what you've got, which is nothing. If you can't see this now, look, mate, they saw you coming. If you can't see what they're doing, we end up living in a corrupt hell-like world. I mean, instead of making this the beautiful place it was meant to be, they are sucking the wealth out of this world. What are we going to do about it? Have they got us by the short and curlies? What? Are we going to go and protest? What good does protest do? They let you protest and then they do nothing, So I'm just got a huge beef with the world today. And it's not just me. It's not just my business. It's not just what I want to make of my life. They're doing it to millions of people, right? And Facebook is part of that, the government's tool. Yeah. You think, the government's looking out for my best interests. No, they're not, darling. That's not what governments do. The governments do not look out for the best interests. The governments are there to control your mind and take your money and kill you when you're no longer useful. Okay? Now, I'm sorry to be completely graphic here, and I know that some people don't want that, but there you go. That's what I have to say, and this is what's going up on the Facebook when you use its tool against it. Anyway, watch me get banned now, guys. Everybody take care. I'll see you later on. Bye-bye.